Everybody. Okay, so I was just finished watching yesterday's video, and I did say something that you can mitigate issues from creating, with this by putting it inside of Enterprise. There's nothing. I don't know of anything named Enterprise, but what I meant was Electron. You could put this inside of an Electron application and control and then you would have control over which version of Chrome your Electron application ships with. Now that all kinds of new problems come along with that, like because you got to compile it for the whatever the endpoint and all that, and that's stuff that's way outside of my strengths and knowledges. Uh, but anyways, so yesterday I said that we need to move the way our application is sort of architected. We're wanting all this everything that's happening in here needs to sort of move down. I mean, the title can probably stay up here. That's fine. I don't expect the title to ever get complicated. But so I want to move this result into a lower level, and then I would like to move both of these into their own component. Um, and that's just sort of the architecture I would like to do. So the first step anytime is to create a new component. And the first step when I go to create a component, I go into my packages. And for this application, I am saving all the commands that I used to create components. So there we go. Discrete record a button is a duplicate, and what I want is discrete result. And actually, I don't know why I named it record button, but I'm going to name this one discrete result. And then, so now I've created the script. So now I'm just going to run it. Run discrete result. And so I always take a minute here, and I just look and I say, okay, what am I expecting to see happen? And what I'm expecting to see happen is inside this app folder to get a new folder called discrete result. That's what I'm expecting to happen. So now I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to hold my breath, and boom. And so yeah, it's discrete result button. So I was expecting discrete result. It ended up being discrete result button. That's fine. Actually, that is totally wrong. So I'm going to delete this. And this is something that is so used to be very, very difficult. Like once you had sort of created something, trying to remove it. But since standalone has come along, it wasn't very difficult, but it would have updated other things and all that. But since standalone has come along, we don't have that issue anymore. Like everybody stands by themselves, or it's not updating anything else at this point. So I can just run it again, and discrete result. Okay, that's exactly what I want. Now, basically, the discrete result is from a template perspective. I guess the next thing to do, actually, to be all nice and proper, is I want to come in here. I want to get this selector and copy it. So I'm copying it from here, and I'm going to import it over into the app. I really wish they had not put this in the imports. I really wish. And the only reason I don't care, I really don't. Oh, that's wrong. I really don't care, but I do know that sooner or later they're going to realize, shit, we shouldn't have put this in the imports, and they're going to change it, and then they're going to break this, and I'm going to have to go back and fix it. It's just the reality, and there's no way I can fix it now because we don't know, because they haven't implemented it, so we're kind of stuck. Their problem. A lot of times, well, probably like 10 years ago, you'd go to a workplace, and there'd always be somebody that had a sign up on their cube that says your mistake or your issue doesn't constitute my emergency. No, that issue is going to be my emergency in the future when I try to do an update and we're no longer bringing components into the imports. So it'll probably be like components or something like that, I'm sure. Um, but anyways, that is a problem for the future, and there's nothing I can do about it now. So let's move on. Okay, so now I'm going to import it, and it gave me this little blue thing. So boom, it imports it from up there, and now I can use it, right? So basically, I can take that original thing that I copied, the selector, and I can put it where the result is in the app template. And then you have to make it a markup polo, and then discrete works. And it is kind of a bummer that it's underneath as opposed to the side, and you know, that's the app's problem. I think that layout like this in this sort of situation is kind of like how I did it there, and I'm guessing indicators as flex. I can take care of that. So now what we need to do is move this result into the template for discrete. Now that there's always like a chicken and egg situation. So the template doesn't know what result is. It's going to break, and then we need to come over here and get the result. And I'm just going to move this whole effect over because that was all this was doing, was setting the result. So we're going to move that over. Oh man, it's raining pretty hard outside. And then we're going to come over here and in here, I'm going to create a constructor. Paste that in there. And so we do not have effect. It doesn't know what effect is. That comes from core. I used to just sort of let these things get brought in, you know, like click it and then let it import it. But, you know, it you definitely feel much more empowered when you think, okay, effect comes from core, than you do like, I don't know, fix me, please help me. You know, it's just much more empowering to do that. I don't want this console log anymore, and I need my speech service. So this one, what I'll do is I'm actually going to look at the other one, and grab it that way, because for two reasons. One is, do I still need the speech service? Don't know. It doesn't look like I need it over here. So it looks like I can just copy this out. So that one reason I'm doing it is because of that, because I just don't want to have this there if I don't need it anymore. And the other thing is I want to get it right, because I burned myself pretty good last time by um, bringing this in incorrectly. So now this I will for the speech service read, I will likely use the import thing, but I will pay attention. So I'll click it, and it says, do you want to import it from speech service? Yes, I want to. So last time for the effect, I wanted to do it manually, type it in myself up in core. This time I'm using the tool, but I'm paying close attention. All right, so now I have a problem with inject. Okay, inject comes from the core, so I'm just going to type that in. See, these are all just personal decisions that I'm making just for my own mental clarity. Okay, and now this result. So result is, I believe, a string. So I'm just going to copy it from over here, mostly because, okay, I do not need those two. See, that's always so hard. I kind of want to get rid of them there, but also kind of like, if that breaks something, which it shouldn't, but shouldn't, if it does, I'll have it baked into a commit that isn't. Okay, so I do not use this result anywhere. So I'm going to save that, and then I'm going to come over here, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, this should work perfectly after I do this. Hit save, and then go back to the one, and it seems like it's still unhappy. So in my mind, that should have worked. It's complaining. Oh, okay, because result doesn't. So this is kind of, this is not always how it's worked. It hasn't always been able to catch stuff in the template, and now it can, which is a good thing. I'm actually glad that it caught that for me, but I think that's why it caught me by surprise. All right, so should it work? We'll find out. Hello, how are you? Yep. Uh, it would be cool if it caught the comma too, but it doesn't. Um, uh, and it would have been nice if it had the question mark, but it doesn't have that too. And those are kind of little details that you start to notice after you've been doing something for a while. You don't usually catch that at first. Um, so, anyways, yeah, everything works. Let's see. Um, I think that looks good. And I don't know. I probably should have already created a commit for this. I kind of have two things worth of commits in here, or three things worth of commits. I'm trying to get better about that. Um, so this is video 13, uh, componentized result, discrete result. So it's more than that, but and the biggest reason I want to create this commit now as opposed to like keep on building things is because I do want to remove um, this stuff, and I just don't, not this stuff up here, and I don't want to do that mixed into a bunch of stuff that actually works. If that does cause some kind of weird failure that isn't immediately obvious, then you know I don't want that. And actually, remember I thought that this was going to be on the next line, and that isn't. And I don't really understand that, but that's fine. I can live without understanding that. So I'm just going to say get add, and that's just going to add everything. And then I'm going to click this thing, and I'm just going to click through and just make sure that everything I'm seeing I want. Okay, this got rid of this and put that in there. All of these things make sense to me. Got rid of the whole effect. I definitely made the app a lot dumber, which is a good thing. I added result in here into this new thing. This is brand new. There's nothing in it. This is some unit tests, which I'm not really doing anything with. And then this makes sense. It's brand new commit, brand new file, and everything in it to me looks good. I don't see anything in here that is bad. Yes, I want to bring in the speech service. Yes, I want to create something called a result. Yes, I want a constructor. Yes, I want to have an effect in here that listens for the change in the speech service, and I have validated that that is actually working. And then this is from last time. So that all makes sense. So now I've committed it. So now I've staged it all. So and it's kind of weird that we changed that name. We call it staged. We staged it even though we add. Why can't we call it added? Now I added everything, but for some reason we want to call it staged, which is weird. So get commit M and video 13 componentizes button and results. And I guess I want to say discrete. And that's good. Get status. And I believe, and it's saying I'm ahead, so I'm going to push it for anybody out there who would like to take a look. Anyways, happy coding, everybody. Bye.